Hello, and welcome to the Santaland podcast. I created it just for you. I'm your host, Tony Felice. In each episode, I'll read to you for 10 minutes, and then we'll talk about what we just heard. Like the cricket in my story, I'll guide you through a grown-up fairy tale, one that explores ideas of existence, identity, and the soul's journey through trauma, and the transformative power of love. By the end, you'll have heard my whole story, a sneak peek into the creative process of bringing a book to life. Maybe we'll read other books together. But for now, follow the wise cricket and discover the Santaland within yourself, a place of hope, connection, and peace that's already inside of you. This podcast is especially made for those like me who feel a little different and maybe talk about math at weddings or philosophy at funerals. And like me, maybe you have a loving husband, or a wife, or somebody else that loves you. If not, we're here to love you, because you're in good company, my dear friends, here in Santaland. Hello, and welcome back to the Santaland podcast. I am so glad that you're here, and we are at chapter 47, entitled A Christmas Invitation. Meredith sat at her desk and considered the envelope. She knew it held nothing but sadness for her. She looked out the window, tears in her eyes. She tapped her foot the way she did, anxious, mad, sad, furious. The envelope addressed to her, to Meredith Vantage at Bentley Publishing. From David and Tom, Merry Christmas. Personal and confidential. An envelope. The opening of an envelope can mean many things. The fevered wish of a pregnant teen, the anxiousness of an expectant college applicant, an announcement for an award, a death notice. Suddenly she grabbed the envelope and threw it across the room. It hit the chair, tore open, and the contents could be seen inside. A manuscript and a note. After an hour and a second old-fashioned, she returned to her office. It sat there, like a dead thing. Almost Gotham-like, it sat in an eerie pool of pea-yellow light from a sign above the window. She turned on the lights and crossed the room. She sat on the chair and reached down to pick up the broken envelope and its contents. She set the envelope's skeleton on the table next to the chair and lifted the stack of paper to read. Quote, Dear Meredith, I know you hated the idea, but I think you'll find the ending wonderful. Love, Tom. Inside the envelope, the manuscript read, Santaland. Another note was pinned to the cover from David. It read, Dear Meredith, well, we nearly killed him. Both of us. Please take responsibility for that and request that the board return Tom's advance. We have to rebuild, and we have other ideas as well. As you read these pages, I want you to see Tom in them, and yourself, of course. I think if you'll look backwards on our friendship, you'll find that you received as much love as you could handle. Sometimes, when we look backwards, love feels stronger. I'm so proud of my husband. He made it through so much, more than anyone will know. And I feel this might be his greatest work, not just because we're in it, but because of Tom's love for words and for people. It shows a small Christmas tale that may help others to find themselves. And that's the best thing, because when you do, well, anything is possible. Love, David. Epilogue. Meredith arrived at Christmas Hill secretly. Her driver stacked all of her bags neatly by the front door. She was not ready to ring the bell. Instead, she left the bags where they were and walked towards the barn. It looked like the old one, but not as rustic. Newer, of course. At the doorstep, she peered inside. Still beautiful, but missing the touch of being lived in. It would come in time. She turned and could have sworn she heard a cricket. But it was just the scrape of the tree against the barn. scratching last month's itch. New skin and all. The air did smell good to her, damn it. She could admit that. And it really was quite pleasant here, if not a bit too much Americana Christmassy for her liking. She smiled a sneaky grin, even though her eyes were teary. She walked towards the main house. She flung open the doors, and like a good diva, she announced to all inside, "It's Christmas, and I'm ready to make my wish!" Inside her purse was a note. 10 for this very nice story, and 10 for the next. $20 million. She wouldn't say it out loud, but the book hit in the place where you know the truth of things before you find God. But she was Meredith, and bluster was far more delicious than self-immolation. Tom would need to sit at his computer again, with me waiting. How could he write a story better than this one? I don't know. But you know, I'd like to find out. Chirp. And that is the conclusion of the first part of Santaland. Within the structure of this book, laid out in acts of contrition and through seasons, character arcs, hopefully obvious, growing, learning, becoming more than the sum of their parts, which is really the true nature of what it is to wake up one day and realize who you are. It happened to me, and it's not easy every day. Things come at you, things are hard, but I've learned that if you stay your course, if you keep on track of the things that mean the most to you, well, then anything is possible, really. You know, like the cricket and the character Tom, I'm sort of a blend. And like the two of them, I like to be myself. And for so many years, I didn't. For so many years, I allowed the things that were said to me, to my face or behind my back, to identify who I was, when all this time I was so much more than they ever saw. It took me a long time to find that. I'm 60 years old. I'm still learning it every single day. And while I'm taking your precious time at the end of my book to talk about myself instead of the creative process, I will tell you this. This book was an act of love. It started as a love letter to my mother, and it became a love letter to the world, because I do believe that we've lost sight of what really is going on and who we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to do here. I, for one, am going to put that phone down unless I'm listening to a podcast. I, for one, am going to focus on the things that make me happy and to be there for the people that I love. And that is really the nature of this book. It's not about surviving trauma. It's not about losing your mom. It's not about moving through grief. It's not about relationships. It's not about alternative viewpoints. It is about love. And it's about a journey that we all take, hopefully, on the way to becoming ourselves. I hope this book was designed creatively so that you get that, with each one of these chapters in bite-sized pieces. And if you skip the dialogue from me, go for it. Just read, just listen. Just listen to the story. You don't have to listen to me ramble, unless that's your thing. It's mine. That's why I'm here, is to talk to you and to share my ideas with you and my creative process and my art. Art is everything to me. Tom Robbins once said, "In the haunted house of life, art is the only stair that doesn't creak." And you know, art is a reflection of a combination of intention and curiosity and truth. You know it when you see it. I hope you feel the truth in this book, especially the next part. Think of it as kind of a quiet journey. I think you'll relate to the characters here. I think they'll mean something to you. I am so excited that they came to me, sitting here in my house, in front of my laptop, or on the road with my husband in the RV, sitting in the middle of nowhere. And I sit here. I taught myself how to play the piano years ago, and I sort of type as if I'm playing the piano. But to be honest with you, these characters spoke to me. They came into my head and they told me what they wanted to say and who they wanted to be and the purpose of their being. And isn't that something, at the end of the day, when someone comes to you and understands the purpose of their being, but it's even more exciting when you have a heart open enough to receive it. All the beautiful glory that a person can be, no matter whether they look like a reindeer, or they look like an elf, or they look like somebody that you've never met before. Maybe a little scary. But once you talk to them and you realize that all of creation is supposed to be of love, then you realize there's nothing to be afraid of. I hope you feel that at the end of the book. So stand by and get ready for our fairy tale. Thank you for joining me on the Santaland podcast. I love you, and I'm so grateful that you're here.